Ready? 5, 4,
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
No, guys, we gotta start this way. We gotta start this.
everybody.
We gotta start this the best way we know possible. We gotta sing the Sprite Cranberry theme song.
Oh, God.
It's the Thursday time.
Hey, want a Sprite Cranberry?
Sprite Cranberry.
There,
It is he.
LeBron will play us in. That's how we start. Welcome back, folks, to definitively maybe the worst podcast on the internet, with not only the worst audio, but maybe 3 of the worst white individuals you can find on the surface of the planet Earth.
Welcome back, everyone. The Unreel podcast is officially back in full form.
Well, I mean,
For now.
for now,
This is the preview. This is like the preview.
remember
What's to
when
come.
we did this weekly for 9 weeks? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. And then you didn't upload them, and you corrupted the files like a piece of shit.
I lost 2 of our best episodes. 2 of the single best episodes I just freaking lost.
An ass.
I am cancer. But okay, so 2017, it's over. We're recording on New Year's Eve night. That's what day it is.
Yep.
It's New Year's Eve.
Yep, it's certainly not 2 days before either. I guarantee it's not.
It's not the 29th whatsoever.
Mm.
And I am sitting with my glass of wine, just reflecting on all of the things that happened.
Yes, let's talk about the very beginning of the year.
Monster
when I got
trucks.
really sick.
Monster trucks was the beginning of my year, actually.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
Amazing.
man, that's how we can do it. We can each say our favorite movie of each individual month. That's pretty original, maybe.
My favorite movie of the month is this.
I don't know. I think it's a toss-up between Split. Maybe Split was probably the best.
That's my favorite January.
movie. What about you, Nick?
Xander
Cage.
Wait,
Cage was Xander Cage your favorite January movie?
I was gonna say that.
I mean, I kind of just want to see it.
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back in the sack.
The X is back.
Do you think they'll make another one? Was the new one successful?
Oh, it was very successful.
Really?
No.
How did it do? Box office wise? Let me see.
I mean,
Pretty good in China.
Yeah, because those Chinese, they love those American heroes.
Yeah.
Xander Cage box office.
That's something I noticed. China and Japan, box office wise, they just love the image of the white American hero.
Holy crap! $346 million.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Xander Cage. Let me look at the budget. Let's just compare the budget to
It's
the.
80 million.
Yeah,
budget.
you're right on the money. 85. So
$800 million budget.
800 million.
that's just I don't know. That just seems like one of those. It seems like I thought that would be more of akin to a Kindergarten Cop 2 kind of deal. But
Oh my god.
it's a raging success among the masses. So
A waging success and a wage gap, which we will address very soon.
yeah, but that's not till we can't until March. We got to get to May first, right?
Yeah, we gotta get to May. It's gonna be May.
Lord.
It's gonna be our intro for the Unreal podcast in May when we fully return.
Okay, so
Sure.
yeah, sure. I mean, we can do this every now and then, but weekly maybe not.
No, not weekly. I don't think.
Speaking of returning, I'm actually making videos again starting January. If anyone cares, which I know no one does.
Remember my video diary idea?
Remember Sonic Alert?
Oh.
Okay, so
let's not speak of that.
well,
Sonic Forces came out. No.
flashback to a year ago when just freaking Wyatt filmed himself vertically, I might add, about how he's going to make his channel a Sonic drama alert. And he approaches me saying, "Hey, I want to make this a thing." And so I basically edited him this terrible intro, this on purposely awful intro that was 3 minutes long that just had the word drama everywhere.
And just Sonic gameplay.
Sonic running around, and then there's this terrible logo.
That's a classic Sonic fan.
Yeah, there's this logo where it just it kind of flies in, and then your face rolls on top of it. It was
and I said, "Yo, what up? Welcome to Sonic Alert. Let's get right into the news."
And that was the best, like, 2 months ever, because I just basically got to edit, like, whatever that I wanted. I got to just goof. It was beautiful.
That was such a great time, too. Like, the beginning of 2017 is, like, one of my favorite times ever, because we had Samurai Jack out, and it was just... talk about that.
The first half of Samurai... Well, that's March. We can get... Well, let's talk about February, boys. What happened then? Deadpool?
Lego Batman, right?
Oh my god. I'm losing my memory. Deadpool was 2016.
What happened in February?
Get Out.
Get Out.
The movie I didn't see. Like,
I have it on tape.
On tape? What?
I have it on tape.
I meant I'd record my DVR.
Oh, I was like, you
VHS.
You VH taped it.
Yeah, I taped it. It was going to be on MTV, so I had to tape it.
Yeah.
In order to make myself look less racist, I taped it by VHS.
I had to tape it with the orange Nickelodeon.
I had to do it in the least privileged way to show how sorry I am.
I couldn't use a Blu-ray. I wanted to so bad.
I used it on Black-ray.
Wait. So have you both seen Get Out?
No.
I know you haven't, Wyatt. You get triggered just by, like, the premise alone.
What? No, I liked the premise. I thought it was cool. Scary white people? Are you kidding me? That's so fucking cool.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if it was like, something like what was that fucking movie? Damn it, I forgot.
So what surprised me what surprised me was that how good it was, apparently, because I thought the marketing was terrible. I just thought it looked awful. Like, there were some, like, promotional images where it, like, kept zooming in on the guy's face, and I just, like...
Yeah, like...
I just thought it just looked like a really cheesy, bad movie, but then I find out that, like...
it's amazing.
Jordan Peele's behind it.
You have to watch it. It's something.
Yeah, I want to watch it. It seems really good, but I just haven't gotten around to it.
However, the deer skeleton is not in the movie.
Yeah.
Or...
That kind of pissed me off.
There was this trend that I noticed, like, in February, with, like, horror movies. This and the Cure for Wellness, both of them have a deer jump scare in them, like a car hitting a deer. I thought that was weird. They were both, like, I remember seeing whatever movie it was, like Lego Batman or Power Rangers. No, it probably wasn't Power Rangers because that was March. But it was some movie in January. And, like, back-to-back, the Cure for Wellness trailer and then the Get Out trailer. And it's like they both hit, like, a deer with their car. And I was like, what the frick? Is this the new cliche in horror movies?
The tagline at the end is, "Get deered 2017.
Deer me up, maybe.
Oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
I love how me and Wyatt just come up with, like, the worst cancerous thing possible. And then Nick comes up with something clever. Like, it was so obvious what to say, but me and Wyatt just say the most, like, autistic, like, get deered.
Get deered.
Get deered.
That's like trying to come up, that's like when I was watching The Grinch and I was trying to come up with a bunch of 9/11 puns. It's like, never who get, Osama Laden, and the most obvious one was Saddam Hussein.
Saddam Hussein. I rewatched The Grinch last week.
Oh, we'll discuss that.
Still great. Still a great movie.
Yes. March. Logan, the best comic book movie ever, dare I say?
No.
March. Kong, Skull Island.
Was that March?
Alright, you know what? I didn't hate that. I
like that movie a lot, actually.
It's fine. It's a fine movie.
I mean, I watched it, like, on an iPad in a car trip, like, in July. And I was just thinking, this is okay. This is good.
At least you didn't watch Dunkirk on an iPad, because that's a crime.
It's a crime.
I watched Dunkirk on a video now.
Oh my god, I think.
Oh, Lord. March, you know what I surprisantly, like, didn't hate? Power Rangers.
I really like Power Rangers.
I fucking love Power Rangers.
Wyatt is so bold that he put Power Rangers right at number 10 of his top 10 list of 2017.
It was previously Beauty and the Beast.
Fast and Furious.
It's like Oh Lord.
Dude, there is a brilliant shot at the beginning of that movie where they're in the car and the camera's like spinning around.
No, you know what? I immediately oddly got
Wait, what are
flashbacks
you
of,
talking about?
like when they.
Wait,
Oh, you go.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the part where they're like stealing the cow in the beginning of the movie, and they're in the Jeep. They're like trying to get away. The camera's like spinning around.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
No, you know what? I was so surprised to get vibes from during that movie. The opening shot reminded me of Birdman because it was all one take, and I just thought to myself, why is this movie reminding me of Birdman? I don't understand.
Well, see, I was thinking more like Daredevil, but okay.
Well, I mean, Daredevil didn't. Well, neither did Birdman. But I was like, Daredevil didn't invent the long take. But
I mean, it did, obviously.
everyone knows Christopher Nolan invented the long take, or whatever.
Wait, what movie?
I don't know. I'm just.
One of the most iconic scenes in
No,
cinema
Tarantino
history.
invented the one take.
When your MCM has The Dark Knight as his favorite film of all time.
Oh God.
But I don't know.
Crush Monday.
When you're So yeah, March.
Oh,
I didn't see a lot of movies in March, so it'd probably have to go to Power Rangers as our March pick. Everybody.
Well, there you go.
That's
Well,
March.
Logan. Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, Logan's fine. It's good. You know.
Okay.
It's-
Moving on.
Wait,
what
no,
else
wait.
came out?
Our honorable whitewash mention has to go to Ghost in the Shell
Yes, Spook in the Shell.
for
Amazing.
the White Knight
Oh.
Award. No, that's
White
what we'll call
Noise
it.
with Michael Keaton.
Change my February pick to John Wick 2.
Oh, mine as well.
I took that out of my list only because Power Rangers was so good.
Well, John
Oh.
Wick was February though.
True.
Yeah, no, John
Okay.
Wick was better than Free Fire in every conceivable way.
Oh yeah.
Free Fire was
Mhm.
such like hot garbage. Not
Dude,
garbage.
Free Fire was disappointment.
It was. I remember like my review was like the movie is so forgettable that I forgot I reviewed it. And then I just watched my review. The only word I could really describe it as was fun. And I was like, this is so fake. I didn't like this movie at all. I was just so disappointed.
Well, you know it wasn't disappointing. Beauty and the Motherfucking Beast. My favorite movie ever.
I was about to be like, all right.
Actually, it was originally in my top 10, but I had to knock it out for Power Rangers.
When you only see 12 movies in a single year, I mean, it gets kind of hard to make a top 10.
I'm not so
Wait, April
Do you
April
know-
had Fast and Furious, right?
Yeah, best movie ever.
That's my pick right
you-
there.
Okay. I've kind of mellowed out on Beauty and the Beast. Like, I watched it again, and I was like, I think I was a little harsh on this. I still don't
But
like...
you were harsh on the Jungle Book.
Right, I also have mellowed out on the Jungle Book. And, like, I still don't love it, but I'm like, you know, this is fine. Why did I hate this movie? It's good.
You film buff.
Yeah, maybe I was just racist, you know? I was just like,
Yeah.
God, if only this child was white, I would like this.
Moving on to my...
God dang it.
I'm so sorry.
Why did that make me laugh?
The long pause was so great.
You were like, my... Alright,
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
here's where the
there
movies get good, folks.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I don't understand why people hate Guardians 2. It's better than the first one in every single way.
I love Guardians too.
Yeah, I think I've already seen it. Like, well, I watched it twice in theaters. Once like on digital, and then like another once or twice on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Like I watched it friggin' like 4 or 5 times now. But I'm not like, I don't know. Does that sound like braggadocious? I'm just like trying to name all the times I've seen it. But
Is that a word?
freaking yeah, our Lord and Savior President Trump used it in the debate. So yeah.
Damn straight. Oh yeah, I forgot. We didn't talk about the greatest month ever, January, when my boy got in the fucking office, baby. I'm sorry.
Okay, we're back in January, folks. Where were we?
No, back in May. It's May.
Okay. And I find with like every time without fail, in the ending scene, like that line Rocket Raccoon has about like stealing the batteries and like you know realizing that his friends aren't gonna abandon him. that hits me like a rock every single time. I tear up, and I don't really cry a lot at movies, but that just for some reason connects with me. Like, I was just like, and that's why it's probably I like it better than the first one.
My only problem was Chris Pratt kind of overacted in that scene where he's like, "You killed my mother."
You killed my mother.
I like that. People were upset that he like immediately like just shot him to death, but I was like,
I thought that was awesome.
I thought that was
I was
freaking
like,
amazing when he.
I thought that was amazing.
Yeah, he pulled out the pistols and he just like I would do the same thing if I found out this giant brain man killed my mom, gave her AIDS. Or
also, the David Hasselhoff part where he turns into David Hasselhoff, I thought was kind of weird. I was like, okay.
Yeah, that was a little awkward. But
Yeah.
is this the what if no, I just thought of something weird. Never mind. He like takes it a seductive form.
Oh no! Peter Quill's dad says like, "Hey, you want to suck my dick, son?"
Yes, I have a penis.
You'll get powers.
Whoa.
He's like sucking his dick, and then his eyes just go black, like oh.
Oh my god. Okay.
And then he's like, "It hurt me to put that tumor in her," and then he just bites his dick off, like.
What? Okay.
Anyway,
May.
Back to May.
Guardians.
Alien cunt vent or whatever.
Oh.
Okay, let's talk about that. Actually, I actually have a very interesting regarding Alien Covenant.
What did you think?
So here's the deal. I went with my friend, went with a few friends, with my friend, another friend, his girlfriend, and we all went. And it was fun. Like, it was like we had fun, like, in some of the parts, like, it was stupid, but then it just got so boring. I did not give a shit about anyone. And then we got back, my friend drops me off, and then I found out the next day that, like, after that girl broke up with my friend, just, like, right there, apparently. And he was like...
Did he blame Ridley Scott?
No, like, he apparently, like, he was just, like, they broke up, he went back to, like, where he works, started crying, and then he was, like, he told me, like, he was, like, driving, and he was, like, I wouldn't be sad at all if I were to just crash into a ditch and die. I was like, okay.
And that's my review of Alien Covenant.
That's my review of Alien Covenant. Yes, my friend told me about he almost committed suicide that night.
That you should make a review where you tell that story and just don't talk about Alien Covenant whatsoever.
Okay, it's funny because like that friend is still obsessed with that girl. Still.
My favorite film of 2017 was Nick's adventures, like losing his car and stuff. I remember like physically like losing it when Nick was like walking around like starting to finally take the blame for why he got kicked out of the house, but then he also like threw in the words, "I blame our president." I thought that was awesome. I thought that was freaking hilarious.
I blame our president. I remember that.
I blame our president.
Oh wait, are we in? Oh no, we passed March. Oh no, so we're at the end of Samurai Jack now, right? we're that shitty.
We've already talked about that on the pod, like how first half was like a masterpiece of a show, and then it slowly got worse, and then the finale was like probably just a straight up bad episode.
And from what I hear, Hey Arnold ended that way too.
Did you watch Hey Arnold?
I watched like the first half of it. I was just like, all right, I'll finish the rest.
Oh, okay. So you watched the good part, and then you like, as soon as they get to the jungle, the movie just falls apart.
Really?
Yeah. It gets so bad, and it just feels it's very surreal because you're so used to Hey Arnold just being like in the city, and then being in the jungle was just very strange. I thought the ending was very sweet, but the rest of it was just like the whole jungle stuff was bad.
Yeah. Well, did you watch the Christmas special?
Yeah, that's a masterpiece of television.
I watched that the other day, and I was crying at the end. It was like, oh my god, what
sitting
happened?
in my room naked, crying at the Hey Arnold Christmas special.
What? Wait, what?
I'm just picturing you naked, like crying to yourself watching the Hey Arnold Christmas special.
Why?
I don't know, Wyatt. I don't know.
Okay. Anyway, moving on to me.
All right, yo, any fans of the podcast, can we get some fan art of Nick naked crying to the to
Wait,
the.
Nick or me?
Oh, I'm sorry. Both. Can we get a fan art of all three of us naked watching the Hey Arnold Christmas special?
If that happens, I will honestly delete everything from. I will delete social media altogether.
If that happens, that will be my API for the rest of time. I just.
Anyway, back to May.
No, we're moving to June now, folks.
Okay, June bug, starring Bugs Bunny.
Is that a thing?
It's an old Looney Tunes movie called Junebug.
Okay. I'm like, is this
Junebugs.
Is this just a bad joke, or is this?
Okay, let's move on to June.
Okay.
What happened in June?
I don't remember.
I don't remember any movies. Oh, Wonder Woman.
No, that was July, wasn't it?
No, I'm pretty sure that was June.
Nick, was
All right,
that
hang on,
was that July?
I'll look it up one by one. Year by year, here we go.
Are you getting ice or something?
Alright, June 2017 movies, here we go.
What was it?
Yeah, Wonder Woman did come out.
Oh, I guess I'm wrong.
So we had, let's just list them off first and we'll talk about them in order.
Okay.
So we had Wonder Woman, Baby Driver, The Mummy, It Comes at Night, So Do I, The House, Cars 3, Despicable Me 3, and Transformers The Final Night.
Oh.
So
I mean, it's
Wonder
kind of just obvious. Baby Driver is everyone's pick.
yep. I mean,
Baby
I was-
Driver.
Yeah.
Baby Driver,
So,
which is also my favorite movie of the year.
ooh, yeah. I
Whoa!
up there for me. Surprise.
Especially when Kevin Spacey said, I was blinded by the balls on that kid.
I was blinded by the balls on that. You know,
I was in love once.
I'm finding it weird. People like are hesitant to put Baby Driver on their list just because Kevin Spacey did a thing like 20 years ago. It's like you're gonna
Well,
Get over it.
you're
When a
gonna undermine the whole work of like hundreds of people, and Edgar Wright's just just because Kevin Spacey almost all right, right?
Yeah. Well, did you hear what John Bernthal said about him?
Who's John Bernthal?
Are you kidding me? The Punisher?
Oh, okay, never mind. I didn't watch.
Holy shit! No.
I didn't.
Yeah, he said he liked. He groped his ass on set.
On the set of The Punisher. I'm the only one who thought that was funny. All right.
Like your audio glitched right there, so it went like
Oh, okay, because your audio cut out, so I was just like the only one laughing, and I was like, I guess I'm not funny.
Anyway, what?
What? Hello?
Actually,
Sorry, your audio glitched for a second. What'd you say?
All right, Wonder Woman.
Wonder Man. Did you just fucking say Wonder Man?
Yeah, that's actually a Marvel character.
I was about to say, yeah, that is. I
Okay,
remember playing Ultimate Alliance 2, and Wonder Man is a playable character, and I'm just like, this is such a lame character.
Well, he's actually modeled after Ultron. Or no, Ultron's modeled after him. So
Weird. Yeah, it's
Anyway.
a good. It's a solid flick.
Yeah.
With a laughs, a lot of heart, and a good role model for the kids.
yeah.
I'd give it
Next, The Mummy, another role model for the kids, Tom Cruise, and his amazing faith that he puts on people.
Nick, do you still like Wonder Woman, or have you changed your tune?
What?
No.
What's happening?
Oh, I don't know. The audio freaked. I was asking if you still liked Wonder Woman.
Oh, I like Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I like Wonder Woman too.
Okay, cool.
Wonder Woman 2? There's a sequel?
Yeah, I've seen.
Anyway, The Mummy, with not Brendan Fraser.
Haven't seen it.
Me neither. I don't care at all.
Neither did I.
Awesome.
Moving on.
Moving on,
Well,
it Comes at Night.
I think I'm probably the only
Never
one who
saw
saw this.
Was it good?
It was actually really good.
Wow.
I mean, it got a little weird not weird towards the end, but it just like they did this weird thing with aspect ratios, like in the final 5 minutes, where the black bars were getting closer and closer and closer, like gradually, and it was really strange. And I didn't understand why, but I'm pretty sure there's some pretentious art house reason why they did it. But
It's like,
I didn't.
oh yes, it's supposed to be symbolism for the characters as they farewell to the audience.
Either than that, solid film.
The house.
What is the house?
The house. I
The
know.
Will Ferrell comedy.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, well, never mind then.
Wait.
Cars 3.
All right, guys. I like this movie. I will defend Cars 3 as the best one of this trilogy. Okay.
Okay.
It's the best one.
You remember when the teaser came out and everyone was like, "What the fuck?"
Remember when people thought it was going to be like a match?
Zack Snyder.
They're like, the symbolism, or we're gonna watch Lightning McQueen. We thought everyone thought he was gonna die, but that scene ends in 1 minute, and then it's he's back to normal. He's like, "Wow, I'm back, guys. Nothing happened."
Everyone who had Owen Wilson on here, yet he was arrested.
Remember when we died from some nuclear explosion from Alex
From Alex
Jones?
Jones. That was the best episode.
So
then the one after was we were in a bunker with John Goodman or something.
yeah, so but Cars 3, it's as from regular movie standards, it's not very good, but in the Cars trilogy, I'd say it's the top best one. 10 cars out of 10.
I give it a 10 out of 10 cars. 2. Alright, moving on to July. Spider-Man Homecoming. I have mixed feelings about this.
Mixed?
Well,
What are you pretentious?
Yeah, honestly, I hate to say it, but Eric got to me.
oh god. Ugh.
Alright, I forgot every time Nick hears the word Eric, he dies.
When he hears the name of God.
That's my dead mom.
So, speaking of Eric, actually, I started supporting them on Patreon.
Yeah, I remember when I supported them on Patreon, and my dad was like, "What?"
Fuck.
He's like, "What is Patreon? You're giving your money away." I was like, "But Dad," and then I had to just basically had to cancel it because he didn't understand it. So that's the end of that. I'd still be supporting them, but so.
I like the comment. It's funny when pretty much it ended. It was like, oh wow, this sucks. But now it's just when you have this entire library of commentaries. It's like finding a gold mine, pretty much. It's like dying of thirst and then finding a waterfall.
Yeah, that's how it was for me when I've just found 3 years worth of commentaries. I was like,
However, they don't have
I
their
listen
first.
To their what?
The Rap City Street Kids or whatever.
Oh god, that was so bad. That was so funny. The grandma.
I need to watch that.
Christmas.
I need to. I don't know why people are so surprised Mark Hamill's in that, because he his career totally.
I'm not surprised.
Well, not only is Mark Hamill in that, but so is Grey DeLisle, the voice of Azula.
That really. What else has she done?
Also Nancy Cartwright, and also the voice of Ariel and the voice of Belle.
Well,
the Black Power Ranger is in that
yeah, he's in it too.
But yeah, Mark Hamill, I'm not surprised because I don't know, that's just his thing. He was voice acting. He was taking any job he could get in the mid-2000s.
You know, the backstory for that is also really creepy.
What?
Wait, what?
The creator, apparently, the director of that movie was a really devout Scientologist. I'm not joking either, and so was Nancy Cartwright, and it was this weird thing apparently.
Huh?
Believe Santa.
It's the Church of Santa.
The fact that the head animator was the head designer for Enter the Matrix, that awful video game. Oh.
I think Wait, we're in July, right? Oh yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming. You're wrong.
Yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming.
It's a good movie.
It's a good movie, not a good Spider-Man movie.
the best Spider-Man movie, hands down.
Okay.
It's
honestly, I felt more of a Spider-Man vibe from Amazing Spider-Man 2, honestly.
All right. Okay, now.
That's
All right.
also a great Spider-Man
All
movie.
right, Nick, you're starting to lose me, but I'm like
Nick is I'm slowly possessing Nick.
I'm like,
I don't care.
I'm like the middle ground here. I think Spider-Man 2 is like maybe overhyped a little bit, but I still think it's the best one out of the Spider-Man movies.
Wait, Amazing Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man 2?
Spider-Man 2.
Okay,
Not
'cause I was gonna say Amazing Spider-Man 2. The ending of that movie is fucking beautiful. Not the very end.
It's so bad though.
What, the web hand? Are you kidding me? You didn't like that? I'm serious. I like that. I love that. Are you kidding me?
The web hand is so dumb.
That was beautiful. Are you kidding me?
It was the most pretentious.
That was the saddest. Oh my god, that was like a comic book. It was so fucking.
No, not even a comic book would do something that retarded.
It was deep.
It symbolized hand that he reached for.
Shut the fuck up.
It's like, oh no, really, him reaching for her wasn't symbolizing that. He needed his web to do it too.
Alright, you know what?
Why are we talking? We're 4 years late on this movie.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming. Great movie, honestly. Great movie, but I just didn't like the Spider-Man. You just didn't feel like Spider-Man at first.
I mean, I agree.
The suit.
The suit part.
That was like the real problem, was just the suit and the fact that he wasn't swinging around a lot.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that was my entire thought process during the car chase scene was why isn't he just swinging around? Like, why are we doing this? Why I don't want to watch him drive? I don't want him to steal a car. I want him to. But then,
was weird.
We wouldn't have gotten that the best part of the movie where his like fat sidekick friend is like, I'm watching porn. That was the best part.
Oh yeah, it's weird because I was watching that with my my 9-year-old niece, and like that came on, and she was like, "What?"
You started jerking off.
What porn?
Well, yeah, exactly. Like I don't know how to approach that exactly, especially when
So
like,
you did what you knew best. You grabbed your phone out and you're like, here, let me give some context.
Here you go.
Let me give you some context for.
Here you go. We're gonna watch. We're actually. I'm gonna introduce you to Two Girls One Cup. All right, this is your experience.
We here at Unreel Podcast do not support showing children pornography. For that,
absolutely
is
not. No, unless you're a boy and you're 13.
Not all right. No, we abide by the laws that Lord Emperor Trump has given us to follow. So.
Yes, we are proud Christian conservative men. Okay.
Yes.
Don't forget white. That's
and yeah, especially. I mean, what foundation would there be?
Oh my god.
Anyway, cut all that out. Next we have a ghost story.
Pretentious. I loved it. There we go.
Wait, the part at the end where he's standing on the building, does he like become like Spider-Man at that scene?
What?
The part at the end where he's standing on the building and about to fall up, like does he like does the thing like
falls down and like a web comes out?
Oh my god!
And it's revealed that he's Ben Reilly.
You just made You made that movie the best. Okay, no. So, are you guys ever gonna watch this movie, or can I spoil it?
No, fuck that. I'm never.
I probably will.
Okay.
I probably will.
All right. Well.
Don't spoil.
All right. Won't spoil it. Actually, you guys know about the pie scene, right? Not like the.
Yeah.
Where she eats pie. Yeah.
All right. There are two specific scenes that are not needed. The whole her eating pie for 7 minutes.
Was it 7 minutes of her eating pie?
It was 5 to 7 minutes. That's what I'm trying. I know it was longer than 5 minutes, but
oh my god!
Like even if she was eating pie for a minute, you would have gotten the idea. Like you would have gotten the same emotion. It still would have been just long enough. 5 minutes is just it. It was very strange. Yeah, it was very uncomfortable, and I was like the only one in the I was the only one in the theater. I know my sister was with me, so it was theater. I had a seizure there, folks. Don't make
I was
fun
the
of me.
only one in there because nobody sees indie films.
Nobody sees art. You guys are all slobs. You feeding the masses or whatever.
Normies.
Normos. No, okay, but it's just very weird. But there was also a scene where like this guy with like this earring talks for like 5 minutes, and it's the most pretentious dribble you'll ever hear.
He's like, oh well, if the American people did this, he's like doing like.
He's just like talking about like the meaning of life and the pointlessness of it, and he's like, and It was. It's so. If you cut that scene out of the movie.
Did you become me for a second when I have a good?
No, I'm just thinking of like he talks for like 10 seconds and then he just screams for like the last 4 minutes. Right.
I thought you were becoming me for a second when I make a joke and then I laugh and then I have a stroke.
Yeah, I love how you're self-aware to that you say a joke, you laugh, and then you just.
Oh god.
So,
Well, it's actually a serious condition. That's not like a thing for the podcast. It's actually really serious.
oh,
Like, I just make light of it only because like it's what I do to cope with it, you know? Anyway.
I don't know if he's joking.
Why are you laughing?
Sorry. So
We're the Planet of the Apes. God.
wait, no, all right. But I will say, I'm not spoiling anything, but the scene where he jumps off the building, that's not the end of the movie. I thought it was too, but there's like a whole another 15 minutes to the movie.
Does he jump off and then he like gets up and he's like, "Oh, I'm Inspector Gadget." Oh.
More like it sends him back through time, so it gets freaking crazy.
It's like the Lego movie where he goes through the wormhole. Like,
no, but
Warp for the Planet of the Apes.
Warp for the Planet.
Yeah.
I was
Woody Harrelson becomes an ape, I hear.
awfully bored by this movie. It's so boring.
It's quite boring.
It's the most, yeah, right? It's just so, nothing happens. There's
The
no,
most overrated franchise ever, honestly.
Well,
I like Dawn. I thought that's a good movie.
I loved Rise. I thought Dawn had just boring-ass characters except for the apes. That was the only good part of the movie was the apes.
Yeah, the human
Just
parts, I think Gary Oldman was good in Dawn.
For like the 5 minutes that he was in the movie. I mean, not 5 minutes, but he was in it for like just kind of like...
No, I'm
a few
pretty sure he
scenes.
was only in it for like 5 minutes. But, he was great.
the first hour of war is just nothing.
Yeah, nothing happened. And I hate the part.
And
I love the vibe of it, though. Like, I love the rainy, like, misty woods and everything. Like, I love it. I don't, some people actually liked the what is that one stupid ape character that could talk? What was his name? Oh, the
Bad Ape?
fucking...
Bad Ape is so unfunny. It's,
Wait, is he the one who looks like
Yeah.
fucking Dobby from Harry Potter?
yeah, it's not funny at all. His character is so dumb.
The one who the black guy called out on Twitter for being racist
Remember-
because he
and
wears the whole jacket.
It's like
yeah.
the weird like Jesus moment where Caesar's like tied up, like being
being nailed
crucified.
to a cross.
It's kind of like that, and then
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson's just like, not Woody. Is that Woody Harrelson? Yeah. Woody Harrelson's just like, slapping him and like feeding him water.
Fingering him.
Look at me, I'm evil.
Not a good. It was really just boring, and I never want to see it again.
Speaking of Woody Harrelson, he apparently will be playing someone in Venom.
Hey, what?
Yeah, you didn't hear that? Apparently he's playing, like... I mean, I personally think he's playing Cletus Cassidy, Carnage, but, like, he's apparently supposed to be playing a henchman role, which is weird. Anyway.
So I guess
Woody
Solo, Han
Harrelson.
Solo.
Woody Harrelson is
Alright, yeah.
Venom.
I would walk out of the theater.
It's the biggest plot twist of all time. Woody
I would jump off a
Harrelson
bridge.
is Sony Pictures Venom.
Okay, here we go. Let's talk about a great movie right here, Wish Upon, starring the incredibly beautiful Ariel Winter.
Starring?
Wait, what?
Yeah, Wish Upon, you didn't see this one? It's like that shitty horror movie that came out where she's like, she has a box and she wishes for things, and then like...
I heard about it.
Yeah. I mean, Ariel Winter she can get it. I mean, let's be honest.
Wait.
She,
I don't know who
Ariel Winter's not in this.
yes, she is, isn't she?
No, it's Joey King.
Why?
No, I'm pretty sure.
Oh. No, it's not Ariel Winter.
What the fuck movie am I
Wyatt,
thinking of?
Wyatt, did you
I
see
wouldn't be
this movie?
surprised.
Wish Upon.
Wish Upon.
Nope, that is Ariel Winter.
Oh, okay. Whatever you say.
I'm pretty sure.
Wyatt, I think you're wrong.
Anyway,
No, that is... Hang on. That is... Oh, wait.
Dunkirk.
Okay, never mind.
Good, I mean, good. What do you expect? It's
What?
freaking Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, it was okay.
What?
The Friday before then, and then I had to my parents wanted to see Dunkirk, and I was like, okay. But then Baby Driver was also playing. I was like, oh man, what should I do here? Should I give it to see Baby Driver or Dunkirk? I was like, all right, I'll see Dunkirk, and I was like, I really wish we saw Baby Driver instead.
Oh, you didn't like it?
Dunkirk.
Oh, sorry. What were you saying, Nick?
I saw it in IMAX, and it was like the coolest thing ever. Because I'm a pretentious nerd.
Well, it's the only way to experience it, honestly.
I mean, I don't think I saw it in IMAX, but it was a good first watch, and a good second. I saw it twice because I do this thing where I promise a bunch of people I'll see movies with them, and then I did that with The Last Jedi, where like all these people I promised to go see it with them, so I've seen it like 5 times now, but I didn't like it enough to see it 5 times, so I'm just like.
I didn't like them enough to see it 5 times.
Like The Force Awakens, I saw it 4 times out of my own like whim. I wanted to go see it 4 times.
Okay, well, hang on a second. I got something to say right here.
All right, well, no. Wait till we get to December.
No. It's just about Dunkirk real quick.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna take a long time till December.
Dunkirk, more like Dunkirk.
That's classic Wyatt.
I thought Dunkirk was a great improvement from Interstellar.
Oh, like 100%.
Oh.
To me,
Wyatt.
Interstellar was like Christopher Nolan just trying way too hard.
I bet like Wyatt was like watching the scene where Anne Hathaway's talking about love, just crying his eyes out, like.
Nope, actually, I hated that scene.
Shoving popcorn in his mouth, like screaming "so true."
Apologies for being sensitive, for Christ's sake.
And then Matt Damon showed up, and it was just like.
Was anyone like ridiculously confused when that happened? I was so like.
I was like, wait, he's in this movie?
I was like, why? Why keep this a secret? Why does this? It's so strange.
And it meant nothing in the end of the movie.
No, he dies 10 minutes later because he.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Spoilers for that movie.
Spoilers for a 2-3 years old movie.
4. It's almost 4 years old.
So, what's the next movie?
August. What happened in August?
August Rush.
Like the Chris Hemsworth movie?
Chris Hemsworth wasn't in that movie.
Hey, what's the movie where he was a Formula 1 racer? What movie is that?
That was Rush.
Yeah, directed by Ron Howard.
Yeah, there was an August Rush starring fucking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. What's his name?
Wait, what?
Freddie Highmore?
Yeah, Freddie Highmore.
What?
He has a guitar and he's like, August Rush or something. That's all I remember from the commercials anyway. It came out like 10 years ago, so.
Okay.
Logan Lucky?
Was that July?
That was August.
We stopped paying attention to months, okay?
Alright, whatever. Freaking, I loved Logan Lucky. That's definitely in my top 10.
Was it funny?
I adored that movie.
It's very funny.
It's hilarious, and it's so well paced, and it's just a solid movie that I was really.
Is it like a dark comedy or something, or?
It's not too dark, but it has like its dark moments. But
I hear Daniel Craig. It's like his best role, isn't it?
Yes.
He's very good in. But I think Adam Driver. I am really starting to like Adam Driver.
I love Adam Driver.
I have a crush on Adam Driver. I want him to stick his.
I have a crush on his shirtless physique.
Yes.
Where he wore his pants all the way up to his armpits.
I like the way he emotes, if that makes any sense. Especially like in The Last Jedi. I just like the way he
The way he talks like this.
No, just the way he says things. Like, I don't know. I just think he has a cool voice.
Yeah.
Your son is on.
And he's also just very good at acting.
Even though he's basically Sasuke from Naruto.
I don't understand that reference. Moving on to
Right, I
September.
forgot. Noah's a fucking normie when it comes to anime. I forgot.
That's not entirely true.
Death Note came out in August.
Okay, I didn't hate this movie.
Alright, I think, like, we got,
it's
3...
not good. It's not good.
We have 3 Death Note defenders in this podcast right now.
Oh, yeah, so everyone's gonna turn it off now.
I like this movie. Okay, bye.
I also enjoyed this movie, and I'm also a giant fan of the anime. That can exist? What?
See, the only thing I just didn't like about it was that it should have been a fucking TV series.
I guess. It should have been longer. I agree.
I would have liked it. I mean, it'd be cool if it got a sequel. I will say, though, like, Adam Wingard's reaction to, like, the backlash was so childish and so dumb. Like,
it really was.
I thought I liked it at first.
Like, one tweet he made was, like, ha, sorry, trolls, in the end, the artist always wins, and then deletes Twitter because of hate. That's something.
To Adam Wingard?
Yeah, Adam Wingard said, sorry, trolls and haters, the artist always wins.
I mean, Adam Wingard liked my tweet one time, so...
I'm an Adam Wingard defender too.
Yeah, no, I used to.
Movies ever.
Yeah, but it was just his whole reaction to, like, even people just slightly disliking it, dismissing them as all trolls and haters of his art.
Hater.
And using the word hater ironically is just so.
Hater.
So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It's not perfect, of course, but
we didn't talk about Iron Fist.
No. That didn't happen this year.
That's not a movie.
Alright, Defenders. We're in August, so Defenders, piece of shit.
So, you want to know how I watched Defenders? I basically...
On your phone.
No, on my computer. I basically just watched it as a Daredevil show, and I skipped everybody else's crap, and just, like, for the first few episodes, I just watched the Daredevil stuff, because I didn't care.
Yeah.
The only stuff that interested me was, like, when they were all together and whenever it was Matt Murdock. But I never finished the show. I was just...
There was a funny scene when Jessica said to Matt, she's like, I'll punch you so hard that you'll see. And I was like,
Wow, what an ableist. What an ableist. Wow.
Yeah, what a piece of shit. What a bitch. There's actually videos of her at a gun range shooting guns, and I'm like, oh, I can't support that.
Isn't she a vegan?
Isn't she like
though?
shooting blind people?
I hope not.
I'm gonna shoot you so hard you'll see.
Anyway, moving on. What happened after that? September. The only movie that came out, It. Amazing.
It. I loved It.
And It.
I also loved Kingsman, which also came out.
So September is where I saw like 0 movies because I had just moved up north, and I moved into a dorm, and I really didn't have a car, and nobody wanted to see movies. Like, I'd be like, oh, anyone want to go see It? And people were like, nah, and nobody wanted... So, from September all the way to November, I didn't see a single movie.
That's sad.
It was really sad, because, like, I'm a pretentious little film snob, so I get a rash every time I'm not in a movie theater.
Wow, that's so sad, dude. You know what? Man. I wish I was, you know what? I honestly wish I had pretentious film friends, honestly.
Me too.
Yep.
What?
But no, everyone... no.
Oh, I'm like, what's happening right now?
Anyway, what happened September? Oh yeah, so It. Did we like It? I loved it.
I loved it.
It's my second. I loved It. I get it.
Wyatt, It is also my second favorite film of the year.
Boy, howdy! I need to see this. I need to see this movie.
Yeah, you still didn't see it?
No,
you still didn't see It?
I have not seen It. Is it? Is it out digitally or?
I think it's out digitally. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll probably watch it sometime.
Would you like me to read my review right here? My scathing review that I wrote for it?
No.
On Letterboxd?
No, we're good.
No, thank you.
I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
You give everything a 4+. Like, let's be honest.
I gave Book of Henry a 4.5 out of 5.
you give everything like an 8, 9, or a 10.
I gave Mother a 0.
Did you see Mother?
No. Why would I?
Okay, I watched it.
I don't think I'll ever see
My
Mother.
review is literally, why would I ever watch this movie?
Mother is so... It's like... Oh my god, it's so hard to watch because you're like watching it, you're like, oh man, this is well put together. But there's some things that happen that are just so stupid. Like the whole I know Red Letter Media talked about it, but the whole Bible's parallel stuff was
It's like Mother Nature and Jesus. It's clever.
There's a part where like blood falls through the floor and she goes down to the basement and she finds this door, and then the blood that was seeping through the floor went over the doorway, like the blood of the lamb sacrifice from the Old Testament. And
then, my god, can we stop talking about this movie?
No, but then just to add like the cringe upon cringe, a frog hops out of the room, just to not make it any more obvious it's a Moses reference.
Whoa.
You see the water just like splitting, like no way.
All right, I was watching it with my sister, and there's this part where like this character knocks over a glass of water, and he falls over, and I'm like, did that represent the flood? And my sister like rolled her eyes, and then like 5 minutes later, like something else happened that represented the flood. But yeah, Mother, weird. It was just weird.
You know what's a better version of Mother? That scene in Shrek where he's like, "What are you doing in my swamp?"
Oh, I read a Letterboxd review that said it was Shrek, and that is me now.
Oh, sorry. I guess you read that review too.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a little mean.
Yeah, I know how.
I gave the Daredevil movie from 2003 a 3.5 out of 5.
You can't even go below a 7.
Actually, wait, have I ever given a 5 out of 5 to any movie? I gotta check.
Probably.
Oh, Baby Driver, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, John Wick, the first John Wick, I gave it a 5 out of 5 too.
Alright, October.
Justice League 2, I gave a 1-star rating. It's okay, killing off Shazam was unexpected, but the movie is kind of a rebuff of Avengers. Don't see it in theaters, see it on HD DVD. Remember HD DVD?
Well, I guess we should just skip October.
Blade Runner, I didn't see anything either. Skip.
Me neither.
We gave
No,
nothing.
I didn't see Blade Runner.
November.
I'm not a Blade Runner guy. Sorry.
Or as I'm calling it now, November, a day where we celebrate Vin Diesel.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we're Ragcock.
I really liked Thor Ragnarok.
I loved it, except for that one thing at the end where he's like, "Oh, the foundation's still there, we can rebuild it," and then boom. Well, I guess we can. It's like a really serious moment.
No, I loved, like, I've always found like some superhero movies just always end like the same stupid way. The way they the way they defeated what's her face was so clever. Like it
was great.
The way Ragnarok came about, I was just like, I love this. They saved the day like using wits instead of just like a power up or whatever. They thought of a way to do it, and then they did it, and I was like, that was so clever, and it was so good.
Oh, and by the way, Thor Ragnarok is also a Moses metaphor at the very end. He's leading the Jews away.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Yeah, just
also,
like
can we talk about how fucking
just
cool
like in the
Thor looks?
Bible when Thanos showed up and yeah,
Exactly in the Bible where Thanos showed up. Yep.
Like, whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
It's smart.
It's smart. No, can we talk about how fucking cool Thor looks now? Oh my god.
I mean, it's all right.
Oh, with the eye patch?
No, like, yeah, he has an eye patch, he has a shaved head, it's fucking so cool.
Yeah.
However, I wish he had his Ultimate
It's
Alliance.
fucking awesome, bro.
If he had his
so
Ultimate Alliance
epic.
outfit.
What?
Noah, you're an Ultimate Alliance fan. Agree with me, damn it.
Wait, yes, Ultimate Alliance is a very, especially the second one, is a very good game.
I need to play, you know what, I remember playing the second one, I didn't even play past the first level because I was like, oh, I hate this.
Oh, I think it's like an infinitely better game than the first one.
Well, see, exactly, I realized that, like, way ahead of time, like, I'm, like, now recently, like, figuring that out, I'm like, wow, the first one is terrible.
Oh, when I was a kid, playing through the
You can't even play as Hulk in the first one.
When I was a kid, playing through the first, like, couple levels of Ultimate Alliance 2, so hard. For some reason,
Yeah.
it's so hard. Like, trying to stop the bomb in New York City, it was ridiculous.
Civil War, right?
Yeah, it's, that was my first introduction to Civil War, was Ultimate Alliance 2. And I think it does the Civil War better than Civil War did, but...
Oh.
No.
Because... Well, I don't
It was
know.
nice having you here, Noah.
It was a Civil War.
a civility warfare.
There's this awesome part where Captain America's in the helicarrier, and Maria Hill is just like, "God, you're under arrest," and she pulls a gun on him, and he jumps out of the helicarrier on his shield, and I'm like, "Yeah!"
Actually, I saw that in the because I got the comic book, like the full comic book of it at the store, and I was like, "Oh wow!" I saw that scene, I was like, "Whoa!"
But then they kind of cop out like the real Civil War ending because like they don't actually
Tony
do it.
dies.
Yeah, no, that's the thing is that's what happens in the comics, or I think that's what happens.
In
Ultimate Alliance 2, they completely just forget about the war because Nick Fury becomes infected with nanobites, and so they have to put aside their differences to stop Nick Fury. Oh my god! It's so stupid. It just comes out of nowhere.
Nick Fury gets infected with nanobites.
Yeah, no, it's as stupid as it sounds. He gets infected, but this is even worse. It's white Nick Fury, so it's,
oh no!
It's yeah.
You mean the right Nick Fury?
The correct Nick. No.
Correct. The anatomically.
Speaking of November comic book movies, Justice League.
Justice League, more like Justice Lou. I mean, wait, no, Justice League, more like Justin Long.
Oh, whoa.
All right. So, it's kind of just universally hated by everybody. I
thought I liked it, but then I was like, nope, that was a bad movie.
I had a good time just laughing at it with my brothers, but
Tell me, do you
God, every scene in that movie looked like it was put on the soundstage, and it was so unwatchable.
It didn't feel like the scale was just like, okay, this one house, this one family, that's all that's at stake.
I was rolling my eyes so hard every time it would come back to there because I was like, this was added in at the last minute. This scene, none of this belongs in this movie.
Joss Whedon.
Yeah, it reminded me so much of just Ultron, just how stupid it was.
And I loved the Justice League cartoon growing up and everything, and I wanted this movie to succeed so bad. I was just championing for this movie, and it's just God.
I was praying every night that this movie would succeed.
I was just God, also
imagine thinking that this movie growing up. That's a good show, Justice League Unlimited.
Yeah, and Young Justice, the best show, honestly.
I mean, overrated, but still good.
Oh.
I agree.
Oh.
Still good. I'm glad it's coming back, but I'd rather Spectacular Spider-Man come back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to now the one-man podcast, Unreel podcast.
What was the name of your old podcast again?
Why Not Listen? Well, actually, no, the first one was called Why Not Listen, and then the second one was called the Movie Douche Podcast.
The Movie Douche.
And they're all uploaded on freaking, what's it called? It's a shitty podcast app. It's something. It's Podbean or something.
Podbean. To be fair, why Not Listen is actually a really clever title. That it is. That's just my honest opinion, but
I
it was
started
awful.
It right as I got on Twitter, and no one watched it.
Yeah. See, the thing is you start a podcast and you already have a pre-established fan base. We do not have that, so we just kind of have a podcast we've thrown out into the wind where.
Then we just kind of hey, do you want to watch this?
All right. No, you know what's weird? If you
Can you please watch this?
You YouTube Unreel Podcast, people have re-uploaded our podcasts.
I know.
It's so.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And now I'm like, that's immortalized. People are re-uploading our freaking terrible content.
It's getting around.
No, it's just. All right, you know what I love is that the Max Landis one kind of got 500 something views and everyone hates it.
Yeah, everyone was just wow, good luck making a show out of this.
Everyone hates it. It was every comment was negative, and it was 90% dislike. And it was so freaking amazing. How much hate.
I specifically remember that comment. Good luck making a show out of this. You want to look it up? Thanks,
Yeah, it's like people like don't even realize that this podcast is a joke. Just it's Unreal News is a freaking satire site. This isn't like a real podcast.
It has 382 views, 3 likes, 16 dislikes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, there's 2 comments. There's lame, someone named David Krausen, who was a black man, mind you. And then someone with an anime avi, one-winged rose. Good luck trying to make this into a good show. Long way to go, it seems.
Oof. I am hurting. It's not like it's not just like we open up Discord and I hit record on QuickTime. We put so much effort into the show. It hurt so bad.
And all the suggested videos are just Max Landis videos.
Oh, speaking.
The first suggested video is Max Landis gay. Information is intimacy.
Yeah, I've seen that like thumbnail every time I watch that episode. It's just is Max Landis gay?
Well, we know he's the rapist.
I was just about to mention that. He's just disappeared. He's not even commenting on it. I check every day to see if he says something.
Anyway, moving on to
I laughed. I laughed when he deleted his Bright comment. Oh my god!
I remember reading that 2 years ago, thinking
it was gonna be good.
No, thinking, oh my god, it's gonna be so awful. And I remember that was like a running gag between me and Nick. Was like the new Star Wars is coming out this December 20.
It's gonna be the new. Wait, what if Star Wars could be Ryan Johnson's Bright?
This could be my Star Wars.
This could be my Bright 2017. Oh, do you remember that terrible? I haven't watched a lot of The Flash, but I did watch like the Mark Hamill stuff. Do you remember when Mark Hamill in The Flash was talking about this will be my Breaking Bad season 4.
Season 5. And then he goes to the kid who's like emulating him. He's like, guess what? I am your father. Like, oh.
Yeah, I remember that.
What an awful time to be alive.
That show, I gave up on that show on season 3. I watched it and I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. I hated that.
Yeah.
God. Anyway, what was I just gonna say before?
Alright, Coco. Did anybody see Coco?
No, because I didn't want to see that fucking short.
You saw Coco?
Also,
I saw it. I saw it after they cut out the short. But yeah, I like Coco.
I guess I'm the only one who's.
I figured it up.
I'm the only one who's seen the short. Awful.
I saw the short actually on ABC Family.
Okay,
yeah,
so
25 Days of Christmas, freeform.
As soon as like anything Frozen related, ever since the first one, like the first movie came out, the music's been awful because they haven't brought back the Book of Mormon guys who did the music for the first Frozen, and it's just been terrible. It's just so like not catchy. And, and just terrible references to like Let It Go.
Olaf was so annoying in that short.
Yeah, have you guys read any of that Frozen fan fiction?
A little, yeah.
It's actually really kind of good. Like, cause it's like Anna's getting fingered by Elsa, and she just says, "Fuck."
All right, moving on to
Star Wars.
No, well, I liked Coco. The character Coco was so ugly that I was having a hard time not laughing.
That was the whole point.
I know. I was having
old lady.
I was having a hard time not laughing.
The old lady.
Because there was a moment where he's trying to get her to remember her father, and like my brother had whispered to me like some. Oh well, she just whispered something. Well, this is just like a joke, not actually what happened, but my brother had whispered something to me that was along the lines of like, what if she just decides to kill herself and say, I always hated my father, get wrecked, faggot, and then just dies. And then he disappears forever.
Get wrecked, faggot.
And that would have made the movie infinitely better. But I enjoyed it.
I hated chocolate.
Yeah, she was so ugly. She's so hard to look at. It was like, God.
I'm actually going to put together a list called Top 10 Movies That I Saw in 2017.
Top 10 movies that
I watched The Grinch, I watched Jack Frost, I watched Stuart Little, Like Mike.
Top
Which,
10
by the way, Jack Frost, has anyone seen Jack Frost? The Michael Keaton one?
Yes. With Michael Keaton, yes.
What?
I love practical effects.
Yeah, that was a practical snowman.
It's interesting. I thought it was such a 2000s thing to like have him snowboarding.
It was actually 1997.
Yeah.
It's such a like late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, that snowboarding scene was like it had choreographed snowboarders. Like
so
yeah.
Like they're supposed to be kids, and it's just like a grown man snowboarding.
It's so stupid, but I love it so much.
No. The scene where you see the ghost of Michael Keaton, sad as hell.
Yeah, but actually, do you guys know what the? Hang on, I just want to read you the first sentence on IMDb of like what the synopsis is. It's so fucking funny.
All right, read it.
All right.
Is it like Michael Keaton has died?
No. Here we go. The first sentence: a father who can't keep his promises dies in an accident. A father who can't keep his promises dies in a car accident. That's the first sentence of the.
I mean, that is like the first.
Comedy drama, family.
And that's our movie of the year, kids. Is
Sir.
Jack Frost.
And now, looking onward to 2018.
I mean, we didn't talk about the most controversial movie of the year.
Oh, we didn't do Star Wars.
Oh, right, we didn't do Star Wars. Great movie, honestly. Great movie. Literally nothing wrong with it, except for the fucking PETA message.
Yeah, that's so
the
weird.
Green screen effect with the.
Yeah, that was just weird. That whole scene was weird.
Horses. I was like, what?
I'm so happy that Luke Skywalker drinks milk from fucking tits.
That I love the face. I don't know why people don't like that. That face he makes at Rey is so like amazing.
That was so funny. He was just like, "Yep,
yeah,
get ready. This is it. The way of the future.
This could be you if you want."
He's like the way of the future.
No, I did find though, on rewatches, like the second they land on Canto Bite, I went up to refill my popcorn and drink, and I came back right when it ended. It was perfectly in sync, and I was like, "This is a perfect movie." If you just go refill your drink and come back, well, depending if you even get a drink. Not a lot of people do that because it's so expensive, but I just can't resist because I just love movie popcorn and drink. I mean, it's so expensive, but you know, whatever.
See, you know what? I used to work there, and I used to get free shit.
Yeah, until
for like 2 days.
Until they dumped you, and then
they dumped me. And you know what's funny? When I went to see The Last Jedi, the guy who fired me was like at the counter, and he was like visibly sweating.
You're wearing a trench coat.
No, he was just like at the front, like there was a bunch of people there, and he was just like sweating, like he was just like, oh my god! I was like, wow, like I did this.
You're wearing a trench coat. You're ready to shoot up the place. You're getting your revenge on the people who wronged you.
He was wearing a Kylo Ren costume.
They actually had to do that when The Force Awakens came out. They were like, feel free to like cosplay and everything, but just know that you will be checked at the door.
No, they banned cosplaying and lightsabers at my theater when The Force Awakens came out. Yeah.
Well, actually, I wouldn't want to see like lightsabers like going off in the middle of the movie. I would probably like.
No, even blasters and stuff too. All of it was banned.
Oh, fuck that! Oh god.
Blasted.
No blasters.
You know what? I'm so glad my theater doesn't do. I've seen videos of like people cheering during a movie, and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Oh, I do that.
Oh wow, you go to one of those fucking AMC fucking liberal theaters, don't you?
Yeah, the ones with the recliners.
I will admit, yeah, I bet why like the theater you go to is just like wooden chairs and like the screen's 10 feet wide. And
actually, no, it's 20. It's like
yeah, Wyatt, what kind of theater do you go to?
It's local, okay? Christ.
Oh.
They have like one screen there.
Well, no, there's a few other theaters that have 2 or 3 screens.
I guess me and us Southern boys are so privileged with our Metroplex theaters with 15 screens and IMAX.
Hell yeah.
You know what? AMC Theater charges like fucking $15 per ticket, so
No,
fuck that.
Regal is where it's at. AMC is like ghetto Regal. You're like the lowest of the low one.
You know what?
No, the AMC is great.
You know how
Actually,
they
no,
had
yeah.
AMC Movie
Depending
Talk?
on where you go, AMC can be really good. Like, it,
You know how AMC Movie Talk is
Yeah,
one
it's
from
not
AMC
bad.
Theaters?
but there are some really bad AMCs. But I think Regal can be a little bit overpriced.
Yeah. Well, you know how AMC Movie Talk came from AMC Theaters? What if we partnered with Regal to do Regal Movie Talk?
We would lose our jobs in the first episode. It would devolve into just dribble, and then we'd get fired.
Dribble. Speaking of dribble, like Mike.
like Mike three the streets.
To the streets. Like Mike to the streets.
So,
I was really disappointed that Pitch...
do
I was just gonna say I was really disappointed that Pitch Perfect 2, the second one, not the third one, but the second one, I was disappointed that it wasn't called Pitch Perfect to the Streets.
I thought it should have been called. I thought it should have been called Too Pitch, Too Perfect, or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. All
What
right.
was the third one called? Sorry.
Pitch Perfect 3.
Oh my
Pitch
god.
Perfect takes
Boy,
3
last-
tango.
Last all pitches.
We hit an hour and 12 minutes. I think
Sweet
it's time to drum roll for our movie of the year, and that is
is
Pitch Perfect 3. We did it. We made it. Pitch
Standard
Perfect.
Gauge Triple X2 or 3.
No, Pitch Perfect 3 is Unreal's movie of the year.
Okay, there we go. We
That-
all knew for the trailer. Remember?
Or
we made history.
Oh, did we forgot to talk about Transformers: The Last Dyke.
Next episode, kids.
I'm just kidding. The worst movie ever made. Okay.
It was very
Bye.
bad. See you around, people. Maybe goodbye.
Everyone.
All right.
Put another 10 seconds on the clock. Here we go. We got an important announcement to make next year. April or May, I think. When is it?
I don't know. It's gonna be May.
When do you get back from school?
Oh,
basically.
April.
Okay, April, ladies and gentlemen, April, it's happening. Full swing.
It's
Unreal is returning officially.
Season 2, kids. Be ready.
Yeah. Get ready.
The worst,
Get your
worst show
buttholes
on the
ready.
internet that only Cinematic Banter watches. For some, why do you watch this, CB? I don't know
Wait,
why you listen to this.
Wait, what? Oh yeah.
What even is Unreal? What even is anything anymore?
I mean, let's be honest. Unreal was started back in 2016 by me and only me. I had no help at all. So
And
Yeah.
that's
I created the website and everything. I just
That's-
only did not take someone else's and edit it to shit and make a new one.
that's pretty unreal.